What's up? And welcome back to another episode of Got Thoughts. This week we've got Garth and Danny, along with, of course, Brandon. Episode 3 obviously was the one that everyone was looking forward to, and it was supposed to be very spectacular. I'm sure we all thoroughly enjoyed it. Lots of shit happened. So let's get right into it. They did not waste any time really with this episode. It was wall to wall, pretty action packed.
It was the Battle of Winterfell. The entire 82 minutes or whatever it was a war.
Yes, nonstop.
Um the opening scene where the red priestess comes up and lights all the arcs on fire, and the Dothraki, you just see the fire spread all across the horde, and then they start charging into battle, and then just they're extinguished one by one.
Yeah,
And
you get
just,
this like ray of hope for a second, and then it's just like gone.
oh man, it
Yeah,
was crazy
you
how
you think shit's gonna go real well, and
Yeah.
no,
Well, I think they did it that way because the
uh-uh.
entire series, the Dothraki army was like made out to be so vicious and strong and savagery, and then they lasted all of like 2 minutes max at this fucking fight.
Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna get to how bitch ass the Night Army really was in a little bit whenever we talk about the Night King just getting slashed up by the Night King Slayer Arya.
The Night King Slayer.
But I mean, the viciousness of the Ice Army was just crazy. How they chewed them up. They left like what, maybe like five things alive, horses included.
Yeah, they were relentless, man.
And I saw Ghost charging into battle, but he didn't do shit yet again.
Yeah, did he get
And
killed?
did we never saw him? I don't believe. Not after
Yeah.
that.
I
They
don't
didn't-
know, man. I don't know what ended up with him. I think somebody online had said that they saw him in a teaser trailer for episode 4, but I didn't see it when I saw the trailer, so I don't.
Yeah,
fucking
I
know.
didn't see him either.
But I
I seen him
wasn't
charging.
looking for him.
I seen him
specifically
charging
either.
alongside Jorah, and then he was gone.
Right, that's the last I remember seeing of him. So I don't know. Be on the lookout.
I thought it was funny that when Melisandre lit that trench on fire, once again, I was like, all right, they got something now. Yeah, no, that
Yeah, the
pretty
White Walkers
smart.
pulled a classic zombie move of just pile.
Just throwing himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic zombie movie.
Man,
I mean,
I mean,
really
yeah,
was,
it was like
though,
World
just
War
the-
Z.
Yeah, just the dead march just into the fire to be like, okay, we've dammed it up.
Yep.
At
That didn't
fir-
last very long.
At first, I was like, oh damn, these guys are just gonna kill themselves. This
Even
is
the
easy.
even the Unsullied was getting wrecked.
Yeah, man. And I don't know, Grey Worm kind of standing back, kind of not doing anything, looking scared
Non-Grey-
like a little bitch.
I wonder if it was because of his girl.
I think it was. That's
Because you
exactly what I
remember
thought too. He was like,
episode
man, I gotta
2?
survive this shit.
Yep. Episode 2, they were talking about going somewhere together and stuff like that. So maybe Grey Worm wasn't the leader he was supposed to be because he was worried about the girl.
That's it, man. That's it. It happens to a lot of them though. So, oh well.
And what was next?
He's
They
got to
climbed
die
over the
soon.
wall. Yeah, he's gonna die. He'll get killed at King's Landing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only reason that so many of these main characters that are left didn't die is because they're saving their deaths for the King's Landing fight.
And I think we talked about that
I
after
mean,
the first episode that we thought that the King's Landing was gonna end up being the big fight.
Right. Well, it only made sense really after after we realized that it was going to be a lot sooner that the Night King was going to be there and all that shit. So after we kind of put 2 and 2 together that the Night King battle was going to be kind of the middle of the season, it made sense for us to be like, okay, well, I guess Cersei's last queen bitch down there in the south.
Queen bitch.
So is that it? I mean, really, Night King done.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, he's fucking done, man. As far as I'm concerned.
well,
It seems so
well, I don't
easy.
know. I know, but Brandon, I mean, weren't you and I talking earlier about, Brand said he always comes for me, it's he's done it
He's
with
done
all
it
the three-eyed
before.
ravens.
Yeah, he's done
So
this shit before.
either they've all the three-eyed ravens have escaped him, or he's been defeated before.
Yeah. That's my logic as well. And if he's been
So
defeated before, then it's got to be some kind of like respawn point or some shit.
Yeah, comes back.
I don't
Yep.
know. I think that they've just wrapped that up. This episode showed me something that I wasn't really aware of. They're tying loose ends here. They're not going to drag us along. I think they killed him off. They're done with the whole White Walker thing, and they're just moving on because we don't have that much longer left.
Yeah, it's 3
That's
episodes.
true.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to keep stringing this whole thing along. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that they're moving on from the whole Night King.
I think it would be best if they moved on, just because there's not going to be another season. There's only 3 episodes left. They gave us such a, I wouldn't say anticlimactic, but like they gave us this big fight, and they gave us such a great ending for one of the characters that we all grown to love, to be the one to take him out. And I think that if all of a sudden he just respawns up, it's just like, all right, like now, like now what, It'll also take away from Cersei and what's going to happen at King's Landing, I think.
See, for me, the whole Night King getting killed was a bittersweet moment because it on one hand, I was pumped for Arya. I was super excited to see her be the ultimate badass to slay the Night King, But as kind of a fan of the Night King, I was like, man, that's kind of a bitch way to go out.
But he was a bitch the whole time. He never really fought anybody. He would always just.
I think that's what I was wanting in his death. If he was going to die, I wanted him to at least show me that he was a badass, even if it was only
right. I
one
thought him and
scene.
Arya would fight.
Like
I
the
thought
best
there would be an epic
warriors
fight.
or whatever. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
I
but-
thought we were gonna get that when John went up to him,
me too.
and then he was just like, "Nah, you can see my homies real quick."
Yep. He went full on Undertaker mode, raising his fucking ministry.
I thought John there was going to get a freaking dragon kill under his belt, but that didn't turn out to be anything either.
John didn't do
No.
shit the whole episode.
I don't think
if you
John
think
did
it.
anything.
No,
If you
he
look-
didn't.
He
do-
looked lost. All he did was look lost.
Yep.
He looks like scared in the moment, like holy fuck. And I felt like he was just trying to get to the Night King. That everything that was happening around him was non-existent. Like they even showed at the scene where he's running into the castle. He even looked at Sam nearly dying and just kept going, like looking like left and right, watching all these people fighting. And he was killing people as he went, but he was so focused on the Night King, and it just, I don't know. He just didn't do it for me. He didn't do it for me that episode.
Yeah, I think a lot of the strong characters really were scared shitless by the White Walker army there. The Hound nearly just
Hound.
like gave up.
Well,
Like,
was
all
he
kinds of those
was he
crazy.
scared of the White Walker army, or was it that
Fire.
He was
It
so
was-
scared
it
of
was the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
that's
sense.
all.
It
That's
was-
been a
it was-
reoccurring theme with that
Yep.
guy. Is the
It was
fire.
right when she lit the trench on fire is when he became a bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, but if we're talking about fire and wrapping up storylines, you can essentially say that the Lord of Light storyline's kind of wrapped up
Yeah,
because Beric Dondarrion, he gave his life to save Arya, and then Melisandre had to pretty much came and drop the hint like, "Hey, go kill him." So they're dead. So
it's done. I think it's
you
done.
have to assume that Arya is now the prince, from the prophecy, the prince who was promised.
Yeah, because even she said it. She said, his purpose, the reason why he was brought back so many times, was to do that right there, to get you to this moment where he sacrificed himself to make them survive. And then she tells Arya, "What do we say to death?" Arya says, "Not today," and runs off. So maybe that was, and she even said it before the fight even happened. She said, "I die at dawn, like in the morning, I die," or something like that. So she knew that they was coming to it right there.
Yeah, she said that to Davos when she showed
Davos.
up. She was like, "Don't slay me. I'm gonna be dead by the time this shit's over."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think she used the last bit of her energy to, light the RX and then to build her pillar fire.
Yeah,
And
she was
after that,
old as
she was
shit to
tapped
begin
out.
with.
Yeah.
Whoopty shit.
You notice it. Like,
really.
it took her a few times saying the magic words for it to happen.
To get it to go, yeah.
It's like whenever you're lighting a Zippo and you've got to flick it a few times because the flint's going bad, and then it
Yeah.
finally sparks
Yeah.
the fires. That's the way her magic was working, and she was just running out of shit. That's it.
Yeah, she was juiced out.
Yep.
So
If you look at
go ahead.
Lyanna, are we gonna talk about Lyanna's fucking badass moment?
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Lyanna
That was
moment?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. What'd you like about it?
I liked how he was talking shit about her in the first episode. That like she always talking this shit, and she only has 12 people. And in the end, it was fucking her that she stood up to the biggest. I think that was a really good scene for her, considering when she was first introduced in like season 6, she just had a mouth on her and like always talking, always talking, always talking. And we're probably like, man, who's this little fucking girl? Always got something to say, and like swear she's so like high and mighty. And then right there and then she was not fucking scared to step in front of that fucking giant. Like I thought that was pretty badass.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that vibe from her back in season 6 either. I thought of her as a leader standing up for the people that she represented, and she wasn't going to be trounced on no matter how small she was. I took her as being very confident and very, very, just a badass.
See, I took her as
from
the
the get.
opposite. I took her from the beginning as like maybe not the opposite, but you know how Jeffrey used to always say shit and nobody like you couldn't respect what was coming out of Jeffrey's mouth because he was a fucking little dick. But for her, it was just like another little kid just talking out of place. That's what I
Okay.
felt like.
So yeah, all right. Well, we took it different ways, but I'm glad that in the end she did get to have her badass moment and she got to slay the giant. It's
that
kind of
says
the
a lot.
David and Goliath story in and of itself.
Because they didn't give a lot of main characters big moments like that. There was a lot of main characters that been there since season 1 who didn't have that kind of a moment with the White Walkers, and they gave it to her. So I thought that was pretty powerful.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there has
Ed
only
just
been a
got
handful.
stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't get shit. He's been around a lot longer than she has.
Who?
Delorious Ed
from the Night's Watch.
The first,
Oh, the next one, yeah.
the
Right in the
first
back of the fucking
main
head.
death. Yeah.
Right in the back of the head.
The Beric Dondarrion death scene where he was holding off the horde and he put his hands against the wall and was shielding it, and then the very next scene it cut and he was right there at the fucking door. That kind of took me back, and I was like, wait a second, how the fuck did he time travel?
Yeah.
Like it's like he got there way too quickly, but then he laid down on the ground and died or whatever. Right beside him. It's like, well, all right, he's tapped out.
Yep, he died. Then who died after him? It was the little girl died. It was Ed. The little girl died. Then fucking he died. And
Theon.
Jorah died in the end.
Yeah, he died closer to the end. And
is he
Melisandre.
dead for sure? Do we know if Jorah's dead?
I think he is.
I think if it was heavily implied that he was gone, especially when the dragon swooped down and kind of gave everybody a hug and all that shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of dragons, is Dany down another dragon?
I thought that's who the second dragon was. Like that last dragon that landed at the castle and was like fighting Jon. I thought that was the second dragon.
That's one of the complaints that I've noticed about this episode was because it was so dark and it was nighttime and all that shit. I get it, but it was very difficult to tell the dragons apart.
Yeah, I could tell that the White Walker dragon was fighting another dragon, but I don't know like what happened to that one of her dragons. I don't know if she still has both.
Because so Jon got knocked off a dragon, right? He got knocked off the dragon, and then there was a dragon that the one that Dany was riding that she said Dracarys and the Night King, which totally just stood there in the fire. Then all the fucking White Walkers started stabbing that shit. Was that the same dragon that ended up covering her and Jorah?
See, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
I assume both dragons survived at least to be seen dying in the next episode. I think a dragon death is significant and it's not something that they would waste off screen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and I think they would have Dany witness it for sure.
Yeah, it would be a major scene, I think.
Well, I
think
her getting knocked off the dragon and seeing her dragon getting stabbed and fly off, I thought it was like an implied death, and then seeing that dragon come back and land at the castle, like boom, like I'm here, bitches, and like trying to kill Jon. I thought it was like, oh shit, now there's two of them.
Oh,
because I
don't know.
Because they didn't. Did they? Because I thought that they killed the other dragon.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I'm
didn't.
gonna have to rewatch.
I don't ever remember any of the dragons dying.
Except when it turned to dust, right?
Right. Well, at the end, once the Night King was stabbed,
Right.
then everything
So
died.
maybe they're both. But where did the other one go then? Because it only showed one.
That's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah, I
See,
definitely remember that
was
one
under the
getting
impression
stabbed.
that I thought that one flew away, and the one John fell off of was the one that came and covered her. That's kind of how I took it. But
Where did it fly
I
away
don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, see, I
Just
thought
away. I mean,
thought
hell,
that-
I mean, that dude just leaves.
because when they was fighting the dragon, like right before John fell off, like there was like a battle going on. I thought that they may have like bit the shit out the dragon or something. Like they did something to that dragon and died because the Night King fell off of it. Didn't the Night King fall off of it too?
Right. Yeah, and then that's when he was walking through that little field whenever John caught up to him.
I thought the dragon got killed right there, and then I thought that the one that was getting stabbed up became a White Walker, and that's the one that landed at the castle, or the one that John fell out when the White Night King did this. I thought that one came back to life and that's why he was trying to fight John, and it was like so sought after John because John was just on him. Maybe I'm not sure though. I could be wrong. It could have been the same one, but
I don't fucking know.
I need to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
I think that's the general consensus is we all kind of need to go back and rewatch it just for the dragons, but I don't remember any of them ever dying.
And turn up the brightness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little dark. I get why they did it. I think the dark as dark as the episode was, I think it definitely gave the nerve-wracking feeling to the episode because I started watching the episode laying down on my bed, and 15 minutes, maybe less than that into it, I was like this.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is about to happen?
Yeah, you had to pay real close attention, and I always watch the subtitles on anyway, but this last night was it was a new level of I believe that was required,
especially because like all shit tons of White Walkers were all running around, and you had no idea like who was in the scene getting fucked up or whatever. Like when they first started attacking and Brienne was like fighting them off, I thought she was done for. I was like, well, she's surrounded, she's fucked, but she made it.
She made it out. Even in the end,
a lot.
when Jamie was on the wall and Sam was on the floor and Brienne was against the wall and the squire, the old squire who's now a knight, I guess, was against the wall. Like they looked like they were dead several fucking times.
Yeah. And that was the scene that you were talking about earlier when John was just kind of running through didn't fucking care about any of it. Yeah, I thought they were all done several times, and that's where they were still whenever the Night King finally was stabbed, and then everybody disappeared. They were still in those same positions, like they've been just fighting off
for their lives, fighting for their fucking lives.
The same walkers for the past 45 minutes. I'm just sitting here fighting your ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back a second. I do think that if it would have been a dragon death, maybe they would have showed it more because that is kind of a big death. But
I think so.
It could also go either way at this point. Because
if they did something like that off screen, I hope they better fucking explain it or at least mention it next episode.
I think.
Like, oh yeah, we're down to one now.
I think one might be hurt. The one that got stabbed up a bunch. I think that one might be hurt, and then they might go look for it or something, and then it might be dead or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll have killed off a dragon off camera, and we just won't know about it.
Well, that's why I thought it was the one that landed at the castle. Like, oh shit, it's not now. It's a White Walker, but
yeah, that would be terrible. But I'm sure if that's the case, they'll at least mention it or bring it up or something that they're down to one, because that would be part of their strategy going forward. Anyway, yeah. Like, we're down to one dragon. That significantly changes our attack.
Yep. What's funny is a theory spun into my head when the Night King got his ass lit on fire by Dany and just ate it. I thought, since he obviously didn't burn, I thought he might have been a Targaryen or something. But
that's what I said to Brandon this morning. I texted Brandon, like, he has to have been Night King descent.
But it doesn't fucking matter if he's dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh well, he's dead, so who gives a shit who he is?
I mean, that would also explain to all the people that said that he was Targaryen when he could ride the dragon.
Ride the dragon, right?
Yeah.
So, but does it matter at this point?
No, that's what I said. I was like, it doesn't even fucking matter at this point because he's dust.
What do we think about that? Do we think like we have to move on, or do we think it was like, oh, all
Man,
this
that,
and then
that
he's
shit
fucking
was
dead?
too easy. I'm still suspicious. I still don't trust Bran. I don't trust him, not one bit. I still think he's got some evil intent.
It's kind of funny how like the Night King had his chance to do whatever he wanted to do, and they just sat there and stared at each other for 20 seconds or whatever that was.
Well, and in episode 2, whenever Bran showed his little mark, and it's like, oh, the Night King can find me anytime he wants. Tell me why then, when as soon as Bran warged into the flock of ravens, he flew all through this battle scene,
Yep.
all through everything,
Right past
all through the snowstorm and all this shit. Boom, right there to the Night King. He found him right the fuck away. They've got something going on, and I don't think the Night King is done.
So I just pulled it up on the internet to double check what we were talking about. And it says that the only dragon that died was Viserion, which was the White Walker one. Viserion. It's because
when he went to dust, he died.
Yeah,
Okay.
they said that Rhaegal, which is the one that John was riding, he's in the trailer for next week's episode. And
Oh,
I guess
there we
the one that landed by Dany, that's Drogon.
Okay.
So
Fair enough. So
that's
there you
when
go.
I got stabbed up, and that's probably why I laid down next to her, because it probably was fucking fucked up too.
Oh yeah, it's hurt too. Damn.
Yeah.
I was like, man, let me just check to see, because
Yeah, no, fact checked. Always a good thing.
So,
Yep.
do we want to talk about Arya's barrel roll mosh pit skills?
Man,
she was the
over the White
MVP of that
Walkers?
episode.
MVP, yeah, no doubt.
Like,
I mean,
if
it's
she would have,
easy to say because she
even if she didn't kill
slayed,
that king,
she
Even if she
slayed
didn't
everything.
do it.
Yeah, even without that, her sneaking skills, her fucking staff skills were off the
fucking
charts.
awesome. The
Oh,
fact
yeah,
that she was fighting there and just like, she was just fucking awesome, man. Like,
I popped when she used her staff. I was like, oh god, she used it.
Remember, I was skeptical for her choosing that weapon, and I was like, all right, she knows what the fuck she's doing.
clearly did, 'cause she was fucking those things up. Like,
Yeah.
she probably had the most kills, I would say.
Right.
Yeah. But like you said, even when she was in the little library thing and she was sneaking and shit, like that was showing a whole nother skill set that I can sneak around these motherfuckers.
And
I can,
foreshadowing the finish.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Her being able to sneak
Where she was
past everybody.
sneaking. Yeah. That's true. Very true.
Hmm.
'Cause
I
she
like
snuck past
that you
even
just
the
saw like
generals.
the whoosh.
The whoosh
You
of the
just saw,
guy's
like,
hair,
the
right?
whoosh on the White Walker's hair. Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck was that? And then you're like, oh.
I love how it was
yeah,
like
that was
she
badass.
jumped and everybody was like, yeah, and then she got caught and we were like, no, and then she dropped it and we were like, yeah, and then she stabbed him and it was like, fuck.
Yep.
Like, they didn't give it to us right away. They fucking scared us for like a brief second and then gave it to us. I like that they did it like that and it wasn't just like jump and kill, you know?
Yeah, no, it was nice. It was like you're right. Everybody had that roller coaster of emotions during that. Go ahead, Garth.
I read a theory today, because we had talked about earlier last week that Arya was kind of being presented as the best fighter in the land because she had defeated Brienne in episode 1. But do you think she will kill Cersei? What I read was the theory about the prophecy that she'll kill her little brother, or her little brother will kill her. What if she wears Jaime or Tyrion's face?
That's what I said. I said the
Yeah.
same thing.
Sounds like you guys are on the same page with a lot.
I said the same thing. And I think that would be perfect. I think that Arya, after everything she's been like, yeah, the show seems to have been revolving around Jon Snow. I feel like Arya is the character that has evolved the most from season 1 all the way till now. She's been scratching off names from that list. And I feel like it would kind of be an injustice if she gets killed off.
She has to finish the list.
Yes,
I feel.
And she has to do it for her father.
Yeah. Yeah, and that just helps my theory of Gendry and getting on that Iron Throne.
This morning, he's a Baratheon. She's a Stark. They said that's a Stark and a fucking Baratheon will unite houses, right?
Yeah. Garth thinks that Gendry has the most legitimate claim to the throne or whatever right now. So
I think
John
John
maybe,
has it. Yeah.
but I still I still have some inkling that it's possible that Gendry is legitimately Cersei's. But she went and thought she had him killed, but somebody took pity on him, like the movie Willow.
So that was in season 1, or was that in season 2?
that was in season 1 when she was talking to Catelyn Stark.
When Bronn was dying, right? When they thought Bronn was gonna die because he got pushed out the window,
mhm.
they said that she said she had a kid that had black hair, right?
Yep.
And was taken from her.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, oh god,
I wouldn't want it to be, only because then that would make him Cersei's son, you know. And I kind of just want Cersei to just stay as the bad guy with no good at all. Like
That makes this whole thing easier.
yeah,
the,
she's
the
ultimate
only
heel,
Yeah.
guy.
the only part that I'm not really having an easy time buying is that the Cersei or the prophecy that Cersei got when she was like a child that said she would only have 3 blonde-haired children.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Yeah.
that's the only thing that makes me not buy that it's her kid. But I don't know.
that's true.
Bloodlines are weird. I guess even a bastard child could have a claim to the throne if there were no legitimate heirs.
Well, maybe.
It's gonna be
bloodlines are weird, man. That shit's crazy from
But
that shit.
yeah.
So I heard somebody saying that they think Danny's gonna kill Jon Snow.
I could buy that. I think
Really?
like we saw last episode 2, when she got the news of Jon being Aegon Targaryen, she was like, "What the fuck? Hell no!"
But she had a chance to kill him in battle. That would have been the perfect time.
I think she needs to fester a little bit more.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah.
But she knew she couldn't burn him. He's a Targaryen, so he wouldn't have burned anyways.
I don't think do they know that? Do they know all those tricks about the Targaryens?
She does.
It would have been a perfect time for them to
right?
reveal that, at least to the audience, that Jon Snow could withstand the fire to have
But-
the
but-
Night
but-
King's
Right there when he
dragon.
was surrounded and the fucking dragon was burning him.
Right.
I was watching it. I was like, she's gonna burn the White Walkers and Jon's gonna be okay because he's Targaryen. But they kind of cheated us out of that by not burning Jon.
Right. I was pissed.
That felt like a missed moment.
Right. I agree. I feel like this episode had a few missed moments. And I just thought of one of the reasons that I noticed that it's a hang on the edge of your seat type episode is there wasn't a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
It was all
very little.
all just action and suspense and build and what are they doing now? What's going on now? Holy shit! Like they weren't just sitting around talking like they do in a lot of Game of Thrones episodes.
Yep. There was no shots of Cersei at all.
That's 2 weeks in a row, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's about to be hogging some camera time, big time.
Savage shit.
I'd say the next episode, maybe the next 2 episodes, will be very heavily Cersei. Episode 4, I'm going to say, might be exclusively Cersei.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think because the trailer showed some of the.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
It'll probably be a lot of her, probably at least 70% or something.
Yeah, I mean,
she's got a lot of shit to do.
Well, yeah, we need to get caught up on what all she's doing down in King's Landing and all that. So that's going to be an exciting watch to kind of see the other side of the coin, so to say.
Kind of sucks that she doesn't have to worry about the White Walkers anymore.
Yeah, that she didn't have to deal with this shit at all.
Yeah, she didn't have to deal with that at all.
I kind of hate that that worked out for her.
Because I thought that they were gonna beat them at Winterfell, but they were gonna escape, and then the White Walkers would just keep going on to King's Landing. But nope,
still no Bronn.
I think they just did it that way to make you hate Cersei even more. Like this bitch didn't even have to fucking deal with the fucking White Walkers. She's just chilling on the fucking throne, you know.
Right?
See, that's another reason why I don't think it's over. I still don't quite buy it.
What do you think? You think Bran's gonna resurrect them, or
maybe, man? I don't know. Like I haven't even thought about it that far in advance. But what's up?
I still don't trust Bran either.
Yeah, just something about him, dude.
The Night
Yeah,
King was my fictional theory.
their scene where they just looked at each other like, what is that? Because if the Night King wanted to kill him or whatever, do anything, he would have done it. They didn't do shit. They just stood there together. It's weird. They've got like a very weird thing going on.
Well, you know, the Night King was reaching for his sword when Arya jumped
to
him.
kill him. Yeah, he was, or was he? We'll never know.
Yeah, Arya ruined it.
It was implied that he was going for the sword.
If he was, he sure did take his fucking time.
Yeah,
I thought he
Yeah.
was going to bend the knee to Bran. Is what I thought was going to happen.
Ooh,
That'd
that
be
would have been.
nuts.
Fucking sick.
He's like the real Night King or some shit.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to bend up, like bow to him or something.
What if he was
great.
going to take the sword out and lay the sword
Yeah.
down? Yeah, lay the sword down at his feet. Damn,
Fuck, man.
That'd be crazy.
Bran's
Fucking
evil.
Bran.
Fucking Bran.
Yeah. I hate that motherfucker. He's like the opposite of Doctor
So,
Strange. He sees the future and then does nothing.
What were you gonna say, Garth?
No, I was going to say. So, do we think Tormund's going to get a piece of Brienne now?
No, I think Tormund's
No,
going to die soon.
Yeah.
You've been saying that this whole season.
Jamie's
I'll be right one of these weeks. Damn it.
Damn it, it's going to happen.
I was convinced like this is the episode. He's had his 2 episodes. He's had his funny little moment with Brienne. He's gonna fucking die, but somehow he made it.
Yep.
Team Tormund.
Tormund is not going to get Brienne unless Jamie dies.
Even then,
Jamie dies, Tormund gets Brienne. That's the
even
only
then,
way.
I don't think she
settles.
Yeah, she won't settle.
Settles ass.
She's a knight now. She can't be fucking around with some wildling.
You
The-
mean
uh,
that's
tradition.
that is a specimen of a man.
It's tradition, bro.
Yeah, she's a fucking knight now, man.
She's a classy lady.
Yeah, fuck, man.
No way.
But
But
the Hound didn't die, so we'll get the Hound versus the Mountain.
I think we will.
Yes,
we
yeah,
we
that's
have
coming.
to.
oh, and that's going to be an epic one. I'm excited to talk about that.
Question.
Go for it.
This is going to be on the Hound and Mountain topic. So the prophecy said that the little brother will strangle you to Cersei. What
Okay.
if the little brother is the Mountain and the Mountain kills the Hound? Arya takes the Mountain's face and strangles Cersei.
That's pretty deep.
Because it didn't say your little brother. The prophecy said the little brother will choke you, and we've already seen the Mountain strangle before when he killed the snake. What's his name? Oberyn.
Yeah.
Over
So
Martell.
what if it's
Oberyn, yeah.
Arya as the Mountain and not Jaime Lannister? Because we all think it's gonna be Jaime or Tyrion that kills Cersei, or Arya as wearing their face. But on the flip side, it didn't say your little brother; it said the little brother, and the Mountain is the little brother to the Hound, and the Mountain is always by Cersei's side. Cersei will be safe next to the Mountain, or feel safe next to the Mountain until the Mountain fucking strangles her.
If that's the case, man, that'd be perfect.
That would be pretty wild.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think the Mountain is the older brother of the Cleganes, though.
You think so?
I think so. Because I think that's why the Hound has the burns, because his big brother pushed him into the fire when they were kids.
I thought it was a little brother that was just
That would make
bigger than him.
sense.
That's why.
I don't know. We'd have to fact check it because I'm sketchy on the Clegane family history, but for some reason I think that
Yeah,
he's
the
little
one
brother.
branch.
Yeah, it's not very very big. They don't really go into detail about them.
Oh yeah,
I did,
Yeah.
The Mountain is the older brother.
Yes.
Well, that is a cool, badass theory.
I still like the theory. It's still pretty awesome. I do think that Arya is going to steal someone's face to kill Cersei.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
One thing that I was reading was just furthering the Arya will kill Cersei thing is you remember when Arya killed all the Freys?
Yes.
She basically says you fucked up when you take out the Starks. When you want to erase a house, you got to take it out root and stem. Well, that's what Denny says in the trailer for next episode. Those exact words. We're going to take her out root and stem.
Ooh, interesting.
And nothing in Game of Thrones is coincidental, really. You know, they're very very precise in their wording.
Well, if you want to talk about precise and wording, let's talk about the prophecy from season 3, episode 6, where Melisandre tells Arya she sees darkness in her.
Mhm.
Brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, thou you'll shut forever. Brown eyes with a phrase. Blue eyes, the White Walkers. Green eyes, Cersei.
Could be. She killed all the Frey brothers. One of them may have had green eyes. God knows. I mean, who knows? But yeah, I'm with you. I think the green eyes is Cersei.
I think we're all buying into the Arya killing Cersei idea. Her doing it with the face of one of the Lannister boys, that would be an interesting twist.
I think it should be Jamie mid fuck.
Ooh, that's hateful.
Ooh. Especially because now Arya's gonna want to know what it's like to fuck as a man. She just lost her virginity. Too soon.
That'd be wild. Poor Gendry.
Breaking all types of barriers in 2019. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Is she trans? Is she transfacial? I don't know.
Oh Jesus.
But next week's episode is going to be slow but good. I know it's going to be good.
It's going to be a lot of story.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a lot of story. Yep, very story driven. Before we get off here, I asked the guys on Facebook and everywhere that's been that I've been asking for feedback to give us some questions to talk about on the episode tonight. Jonathan Kane gave 2 good questions. One of them was, what's up with Howland Reed and his army in Deepwood Mott? And will he get there to help out and kind of be the one that reveals the firsthand account of Ned and Lyanna's interaction about Jon? He can kind of confirm the legitimacy of the Targaryen bloodline through a firsthand account. Or is that going to be something that's just written off the story because there's not enough time?
I completely forgot about that.
I did too. I had to look it up when he asked the question. So,
Howland Reed.
Howland Reed.
Yeah,
yep.
He's Jojen and Mirren's father, and he was with Ned Stark. He was with Ned Stark when they went and got the baby from Lyanna. But do we know if Howland Reed know the truth? He wasn't in the room with Lyanna, I don't believe. Does he know the truth?
You got to assume when Ned Stark comes out of there holding a baby.
Well, yeah.
He's like,
he at least knows it's Lyanna's.
Right. And he at least knows that that's where a baby came from, He has a
but you know what? The whole
shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Since Jojen and Mirren have always been on the Stark side, I don't even know if Howland knows that, but I would think he would be with the Starks.
They've always been Stark bannermen, is what the book says.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think it might get overlooked just because there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it was a very detailed question, I think, and I think it's just one of those. Yeah, it's a very good question. He also asked, how can a white not break out of a wooden box like when he was transported to King's Landing, but he can break out of a stone coffin like in the Crypts of Winterfell?
I think that was just convenience.
Yeah, I think we can just chalk that one up to like plot holes.
Poor writing. Yeah. Poor writing.
Or well, I mean, can we say that just to spin it, maybe that if they're not in the presence of the Night King, they're not as powerful.
That could be.
Like the further they are away from the Night King, the less powerful. I don't know, but that one in King's Landing had a lot of energy and went sprinting straight for Cersei and was ready to just chew off faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it had the power to, if the ones in the crypts,
I thought they took his arms off.
Well, they cut it off
one of its arms
as a
off.
demonstration there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Good question.
I don't know. I
don't know why nobody thought about
probably oversight.
I
didn't think they would come alive.
Yeah, same.
I didn't
when they were all hiding in the crypt. Now, one time did I say, "Oh, the White Walker's going to come out from the crypt"? Now, one time did I think that?
Yeah, I thought something with the Starks would have saved everybody somehow.
And so they resurrected him from the crypts, but So what? It didn't affect anything. You didn't get to see anything cool like a headless Ned walking around or
Or
anything.
Catelyn
Uh,
Stark throat slit.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
I think they missed the
you didn't get
mark
to see
there.
any of that cool stuff. I mean, if you're going to do it, just
Do it right.
fucking do
Yeah.
it. Not
Yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't Lyanna Stark buried there?
Yep. She could have
Yeah.
popped up and done a lot of cool stuff.
It was just
Yeah.
another missed opportunity right there.
But I mean, maybe they weren't in that wing of the fucking crypts. Because remember last week we were talking about how all those people were hanging out in the crypts, but John and Danny still had their whole area to themselves for their little intimate moment when he revealed his true lineage. There was no
Yeah.
one around. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
you just
fucking
have to
room
assume it's
to this
huge.
crypt.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can say. Donnie Grayer asks, how did the whites move with no muscular system? This is beyond me
Magic.
because
Magic. Yeah, come on.
I'm not a scientist or whatever, but they cut a white's arm off in King's Landing and it was still moving when it was completely detached from the body. If that can happen, I don't need to see muscles on
If they could rise dead people, it could happen.
Yeah. The dude controls the
Just
dead. That's
dragons,
it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's a million things like that.
And Drew Miller, he asked a good question in regard to
Doubt it.
Cersei's arsenal. Other than the dragon skull piercing crossbow, what does she really have for her weaponry?
The fucking fleet that can shoot at them and
Okay, well we understand she
Wildfire,
has
possibly.
the 20,000
Wildfire?
or so. She used a lot of that in the when she blew up the Sept of Balaam.
Yeah.
But
She
not
might
all
have
of it,
more
because
that.
there's a bunch under the Red Keep. It's supposed to be under the Red Keep as well, which she didn't blow up.
That might fuck some
So-
shit up for the Stark, the Targaryen clan.
Yeah, that might be. She might
Yeah.
have booby traps.
Yeah.
you know, she's been this whole time that they've been prepping for their fight at Winterfell. She's also been preparing. She has the Euron Greyjoy's fleet. She has, you know, the Mountain and his people. She has Bronn, who's apparently a hired assassin now. There's a lot of shit that she's been setting up to get
Didn't
ready.
Bronn
to
leave?
The Golden Company.
The fight's coming to her house. You know, she's been at King's Landing for years, so she's gonna be well prepared and ready for what's to come. And based off the fucking, you know, aftermath of this battle of Winterfell, like the Starks and Targaryens, they're very short-handed.
They have no Dothraki. I'm sure the
No
Unsullied are
Dothraki, no-
super low on numbers.
Unsullied is low. Like they don't really have much going into this fight, except the two dragons, and one of them is almost dead. So I mean, fuck, man, it's gonna be another uphill battle for them.
They got the Ironborn. Once they
They
take
do
back
have
the
the
Iron Islands,
Yeah.
what's left of them, that's not with Greyjoy. Euron.
Is
So
there anything else that could come? Like can you remember if any clans leaving somewhere, or any families leaving somewhere to go and come back that can come back for a late save? I can't think of anybody else.
I mean, the only one that's possible is Howland Reed.
Yeah, and Deepwood Motte.
Yep, he would be bringing the whatever they're called, the Krennicmen, I think is what it is,
Yeah.
like the little swamp people.
That's just like a last minute family that comes to save. They're highly, highly outnumbered.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. Fuck. And I think I agree with you, Danny, that Cersei's been just sitting there setting the trap. She's booby trapping everything. She's getting it ready so that as soon as you come, she's ready to fuck you up from all angles.
And Cersei plays a great fucking game. She's been playing that game since the first fucking season, man.
Yeah, she plays the long game, man.
Yep. and that's the only reason why she fucked Euron. The only reason.
Oh yeah.
She knows what the fuck she's doing, man. And we can't fucking underestimate Cersei. Because the Queen been since fucking season 1.
And you said last time you were on that's your dad's favorite character and has been from the very get-go, you know?
From the minute she fucked her brother in that castle, my dad has loved that woman.
Oh, one of my boys, he's a huge Lannister family fan. He's been a fan of all the Lannisters. And he's also a Yankee fan. Must be something in common with you guys.
Oh man. I'm just saying, if you look at Cersei, all the shit she survived, even the shame walk and being put into prison, like being married to Robert Baratheon, somehow managing to take all that shit, having all her sons sit on the throne, getting rid of every fucking problem that's ever approached that throne. She's done in some sort of way the past 8 seasons. And I don't think it's going to be any different this time, that she is going to fight and she's going to be ready.
No, I'll agree with you for sure. She is a fighter.
Just because we can't have a bad guy, it can't be heels on top at the end of the show. Like, we have to get a somewhat happy ending, which is the only reason why I'm not going to say Cersei still wins, because I feel like she has to die for everything.
And this is coming from a professional wrestler guy saying that the heel can't be on top at the end.
The heel comes out on top sometimes. She's came out on top 7 seasons in a row.
A lot.
It's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. That's it. Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship. It's WrestleMania. A good guy's going to finally sit on the throne. It's the only reason why I believe Cersei's going to die, because at the end of the day, we have to get somewhat of a happy ending. The bad guys can't always win.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they're going to give us some sort of a happy ending. I don't know if it'll be
May
John.
not be the one we want. May not be the one we want, but it's going to be somebody.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well,
Tyrion. I don't fucking know.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for coming on. It's been awesome to talk. Why don't you guys go ahead and give your little plug where people can find you out on social media and all that stuff. Danny, go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay. You can find me at any social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Danny Limelight. Not hard to find. And look forward to being back, man. Just let me know when.
Yes, sir. Yeah, anytime. You're welcome back. We'll get you on to talk Red Sox Yankees one of these days. Garth, do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, no, don't find me.
Okay.
I just found you on Facebook, Garth. I sent you a friend request.
I remember a few weeks ago when you told the listeners to go try to find your Tumblr page. You remember that?
Yeah. If y'all can find it, more power. Yeah.
Notice he doesn't give the handle name at all.
Are we gonna do a massive group chat for the last episode of the season, or how are we doing that one?
Yeah, we could probably do that. I think the server can handle that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people we're allowed to have on Google Hangout, but if we'll max that bitch out. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck it. I want to be there for the last episode.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Book me.
You got it, man.
All right, guys.
All
Awesome fun as always.
Yep. See you guys. Good night.